Uh, all right.
Yeah.
Should we get this thing started?
Yes.
All right.
Want
I'm
to
going to start off
say,
with a
I just,
couple
I just
poems.
want to say, hold on. We're here for Eric Lesson's book release party
Yay!
about fucking time. Right? So, apropos to the title, and so welcome everybody. Eric, this is being recorded, so you can put it up on wherever you need to put it up after we're done.
Awesome. And I just wanted to give a shout out to Frankie. Thank you so much for putting this together. You guys are awesome. Thank you everybody for coming. So I'll start off with a couple, and then we'll just maybe do a round robin and do a couple and make sure you guys can read a couple of things. If anybody's got to get out of here early, if you've got to get up for work or you've got kids to put to bed, let me know. We'll try to get you guys in through. And I think maybe Frankie, you said maybe your daughter might want to play a couple songs.
She might not. That may not happen after all. So I apologize.
Okay. Not a problem. I'm just figuring out how to use Zoom, so how can I complain?
No, thank you. No.
All right. Well, I'll start us off with a couple, and then if anybody's got to get out of here early, let me know, and we'll go from there. Sound good?
Yeah, sounds great.
Okay. This is in the book. This is called Learning to Love Upholstery. I won't let this piece of shit chair defeat me. It was a priceless antique once. I can make it great again if it would only let me. Staples pierce my palms, splinters gouge my fingers, sweat stings my eyeballs. The chair is winning. Springs and stuffing, the innards of furniture are shoved and twisted into place with the finesse of a dungeon surgeon under duress. Duct tape and hot glue, the bandages of carpenters are applied and sealed with a stubborn determination unknown to punishment gluttons. An hour later, the old chair is whole again. I have worked wonders. It is a piece of fine art again. It has value and usefulness. Behind me, a fractured sofa has been delivered. The Swiss clock tells me times 10 that I am cuckoo, despite the impending onslaught. I greet the sofa, sans malice, with a tip of the hat and gardening shears. This is no mere project. This is how I open myself to love. Thanks. All right. All right, one more, and then we'll move on down the line here. Okay, this is also from the book. This is called A Star-Crossed Supernova, Hastily Written on a Diner Napkin. You are hundreds of miles away again, pining. Or is it farther than that without expectations? No doubt you are happy in Anonymityville. You are cut off or blocking out the world, or is it just me that you are casting off? Did I or you or both of us deserve it? Was it worth reimagining yourself? I ask too many questions, you always say. You are cryptic and wear it vaguely like a veil. I don't need specific answers to say, just hints, allegations, and shadow puppets. If you're going to break my heart again, leave me the duct tape, glue, and whiskey. I can't read in the failing light. I need a sign to tell me to stop. I hear your voice from the other room. It coos to me from beautifully bound notebooks, but you aren't in the other room inspiring me. I know now that it was just a wall-eyed what if. You don't shine for my city anymore. You have become the hidingest monster. Won't you embrace my tangible starlight afterburn? My second wind is imminent and electrifying. The calendar flips over and we come up for air. I don't want to put a limit on this bittersweet longing. Here I am again, dashing and jittery like Morse code, but without any urgent message to get through. Won't you free my heart galloping in my chest? I used to quell it, but now shun all soul cagers. I murmur long after secrets at the walls. In splendid indifference, rain pelts the aluminum siding. The lush and dank cacophony renders me inert. It's a choir I never asked for on 24-hour energy pills. Won't you belay your wanderlust tonight? I will share the wine if we forego glasses. Recite it to me like your favorite summer chorus. Illuminate this wanton wintry scenario. Tell me the story of us, the epic might have been. of how it was never the right time, or that we were on polar opposite trajectories, or that neither of us could wait for the future, not when the present was burning like paper mache excuses in the desert with only gasoline to drink, not when edible words were all we had, not when you kept writing star-crossed supernovas on used diner napkins and I stopped reading already full. All right. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Anybody else got a couple of poems they want to share?
I want to say that we should probably mute ourselves if and when one person's reading, because the background noise can be a
Okay.
little, yeah. So, okay, who's up?
Anybody else? Anyone want to volunteer? Okay. Crystal Lane's got a couple.
So congratulations, Eric. I'm so excited for you. I've known you for several years now. We made short films together and read each other's writing. You're a comedian, a poet, an actor. You're everything. And now you've added Great Dad to your list as well. So it's been fun to watch that happen over the years. I think the title, the picture is like absolutely perfect. It's funny. It's like poignant. It's great. So the two I chose to read of my own, I feel like have a little bit of connection of what I was reading in your book, because you have this kind of like you deeply care but don't give a fuck at the same time, and sort of like this invitation to come into your world and also stay away. And then also you have something about a desert in there. So I recently had the honor of being invited to write for Border Voices, and I wrote a couple of pieces. One of them that they're going to take and one they're not, but I wanted to start with my poem that is about the desert called, or is it? Is it about the desert? I don't know, you tell me. But it's called Leaving the Mirage. The base of yet another sand dune ahead. Ripples carved by wind, air cuts like blades, no water to soften. I climb. Dig hands deep into scalding sand, cooler the deeper I plunge, up closer to scraping the clear blue sky lit by unforgiving sun. At crest, gazing to the bottom, air as thick as cooking oil, rising in waves from the sandy surface, eyes strain to make out the colors in the valley. Green palms and tufts of moss-like grass, water clear enough to see the shapes in the sand base of the pond. A hemp rope hammock hung between trunks of two palms, racing down the last dune, skipping, tripping, falling toward the life-giving wet and green, arms outstretched, lips and throat open, anticipating quench. It's been ages since my last sip. Rising knees torn, sand in crevices and between fingers, sprinting toward water as the green and blue are within reach. The air erases the scene as I enter. Just sand, just sun. I pick myself up to climb over the next dune. All right, and the next one's a little more on the nose for what we're going through right now. Zoom class on Wednesday. The only reason I remember that it's Wednesday is because I set an alarm on my phone. 1 p.m. public presenting. It's listed as public speaking in the college catalog, but that label isn't quite right. You don't need to use a literal voice to present. Sure, you need verbal communication, but not necessarily vocal. We're an audio-centric culture, really. We conflate words with oral expression. We read aloud, sound it out, avoid foreign films because we don't want to do the work of reading the subtitles, judge people's talent and intelligence by their voice. At least I know that was, sometimes still is, me. I decide I will wear a professional top and black yoga pants. I've had so much sourdough lately, I think I've expanded past the limit of the waistbands in every other pair of pants I own. I minimally comb my hair and put on my anti-blue light glasses. The pedagogy groups I'm in on Facebook say requiring simultaneous Zoom meetings isn't equitable. I took that to heart and spent the few days provided by a modified calendar setting up asynchronous assignments. I'm not sure if I showed uh, if I showered or shaved those few days, but I did manage to bathe my daughter. She gets a fresh, clean outfit every morning. I could sell or donate practically everything in my closet at this point. After I have set up an asynchronous class, my students requested a simultaneous meeting. One mentioned that no one in her house communicates in her language. Most of the class agreed. Another revealed his mom and dad both had been hospitalized with the virus and he needed someone to chat with. Yet another offered that as an essential worker, they cannot keep up with coursework between shifts without the accountability of class meetings. The class voted unanimously to continue to meet simultaneously on Zoom. So today, I open our optional biweekly Zoom class. Faces pop into view, I assign a captioner. I watch the students as they communicate back and forth with each other. I do my best to communicate directly with them, but whenever my ASL isn't quite up to snuff, the other students watch the interpreter. This semester will end. This pandemic will end. Hopefully, our connections never will.
That's great.
Thank you.
Thank you for reading. All right. Who is up next? Anybody else have a few poems they'd like to read? A couple? Rondi, Ellen, you want to read? I can't hear her.
Ellen, you're on mute. Ah, the joys of Zoom.
Okay, can you hear me now? Okay, I'm not, it's new to me. Hi, everyone, hi.
Hi, thank you so much for stopping by.
Oh, a pleasure. I'm reading your new book already, and it's wonderful. It's
Aw.
congratulations. It's really a page turner, really. It's great. And it's so great to see everyone. Hi, everyone. It's great. So let's see if I can see my work. See, that's so new. Okay, I'll try. Okay, here's one. There's such pain in the world. Like we all stepped on a thumbtack at the same time. And we can either take a step forward or a step back. But there's something in the collective paw of the world holding us up. For some it's music, for some it's a rainbow, for some it's nature, for some it's love. The world must contain wonder. When it feels all the breath and wishes contained, even a wind wander at the right moment in time, new wonders living in the world. And then I have, oh, it says my internet connection's unstable. Uh-oh. Can you
Yeah, I can hear you and see you fine.
Okay, because it just said my, not so technical.
Join the
I'm
club.
trying. Oh, to understand. So just one more, is that okay? We'll just Okay, and thanks again. This is so sweet and this is wonderful. It's wonderful. Fires and fables. A tornado spins through the collective gut of the world. 1 minute we're standing next to our school desk. Soon we're carrying oxygen and lilies around. Between the fires and the fables, the music and the molecules, our breath comes out like stardust. Our memories are the moon. Astronauts, each of us, soaring with ferocity and grace. Thank you.
That was great.
Oh, thank you. It's nice to be here with everybody.
Yeah, we'll stick around. We'll see how many people are going to read, and then we'll maybe do another round. Angel, did you have a couple you wanted to read? No? Oh, okay. Rondi, you have a couple? Unmute.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, congratulations, Eric.
Thanks.
Wonderful. I too, the title keeps, plays in my mind because it can mean so many things, which I love. I love multiple meanings, the puzzles for our minds. So thank you for that, Eric. I really appreciate that. And thank you for allowing, for inviting me to this. I'm so excited to see Ellen. Excited to see you, Eric, and nice to see. I don't know everyone. I saw Kevin Ridgway was on there. So hello, Frankie. I don't know everyone here, maybe, but it's nice to see everyone, and I hope you're all well. But Eric, you actually read a poem, one of your poems about space, and I wanted to read something that was, timely, and had a little bit of a nod to your book too. So I have a couple of space poems. So we did launch some people into space today, which congratulations to that. So I'm going to read. This is called Dear Rocket Man. Dear Rocket Man, I know you feel alone, for we are farther apart than any two humans have ever been. Science may never know how far love can go, how long it can last, or the speed it travels. But I am always with you. We coexist in blurry flux. Our electrons are constantly getting it on in an alternate universe. You feel me when I put your face to my needs, when I break open and apart just to help myself to sleep. I want to know you, your books, apocrypha, your shredded documents, your wet nightmares, all of your high and dry, dirty laundry. Tell me everything, Rocket Man. I am here. Thank you. Thank you. I have another space poem, but I also have a sort of I could read a poem that is a little more political.
Whatever you want.
I don't want to get too political here, but this is maybe a little bit lighthearted and political at the same time. Anyway, I'll let y'all be the judge. This is called Worth His Weight in Baloney. 6'3" and 239 supposed pounds of solid packed lies. The spawn of scrap meat. Artificially colored flavors laced into every fucking word. He couldn't tell the truth if his FDA approval depended on it. He's so fat on fiction, when you apply a little heat, you can see it seep out of him and congeal on everything he touches. A total disgrace and such shameless waste of shelf space. It's more dangerous than you might think. His speech isn't part of any healthy diet. He is a poison, which should be illegal. It is in some parts of the world. I hope it is again here. Congratulations, Eric. Sorry, I got a little more emotional than I expected on that. But
That was beautiful, beautiful.
I'm going to unmute us all so that we can unmute yourselves, guys, so that we can just have a little chat, a little thank you, a little like.
Yeah, thank you all.
That was great. Please stick around. Please stick around. Just want to say hi. I see Jordan there. Hi, Jordan.
Apparently, Jordan.
I
I don't know what happened.
If you'd like to read anything, Jordan, let me know.
I'm not a poet. I mean, I can read one of yours, but I'm not a poet myself.
Yeah, you can, whatever you like, sir. I'm trying to see who else we might have on here as well.
We have Michael Kondo.
That's Rondi. Or is that?
Oh, that's my husband.
Oh,
Okay, great.
and
We
I
have-
thought Kevin was on here as well. I don't see anybody else at the moment. So.
Yeah, I don't see Kevin.
Kevin was on. He must have gotten disconnected.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Hey, Rondi, Rocket Man, is that published anywhere?
It is in my book. It's called Let the End Spill Over Your Lips.
Cool.
I really enjoyed that one.
Thank you. If you send me your address, I will mail you a copy of this book.
Okay.
Oh my God.
I have some copies sitting right here. I'd love to mail them to anybody who would want a copy. So
Awesome.
thank you very much.
All right, well, let's see. So Jordan, you're welcome to read anything. Frankie, if you'd like to read
Ugh.
anything. I don't want to put anybody in the spot. I'll read more stuff if you guys.
I'll read one. It's a little vignette from when I went to Portland in 2017. It's called Portland Today. The middle-aged waitress tells the tall young waiter that she weighs 220 pounds and she's tired of being fat. She cares and doesn't care at the same time. A little hungry, a little thirsty. Our lemon drops are our specialty, not on the menu, my favorite, and I'm picky. Rehearsed and performed at every table. She's been doing this for a while, ready for something. I can hear it in her tone when she talks to the heavy-set young woman with the heavy shoulder bag. I drink the house wine, the red wine, walked in as they started happy hour. The bottles lined up on the mirrored shelves behind the dark cherry wood bar. I would love to taste them all. I'm a lightweight. Since the party days started at age 15, with my beautiful best friend with the caramel shiny hair and Bambi brown eyes. She drank faster than me, smoked, drugged, died faster than me. I carry her funeral picture and prayer card in my red patent leather Coach wallet. A Christmas present from another version of her, west of the 405, just off the 101 north in blonde suburbia. The waitress's name is Jackie. I say, my name is Frankie, as if that means something. She smiles in agreement of whatever my intention is, but doesn't mean it. Her eyes, blue and tired, have seen it all. Carry all of our stories in the bags under her clumpy lashes.
Very cool.
Thank you. Let's see. Okay, so let me do a pandemic poem. How about that? I do this every Thursday, shelter in place. I will wear an N95 mask for you, share all of my quarantine food with you, wash my hands 1,000 times for you, share my unlimited data with you. I'll accompany you on a walk 6 feet away from you, foot bump hello and goodbye with you. I'll Zoom and WhatsApp anytime with you, send all of my virtual love to you, play music and dance close if you want me to, eat meals carefully made by you, listen your dreams right out of you, call them things I heard you say about you.
Great. All right.
I love being here. I have missed, February was so busy with love and all these Valentines and these events, and I was reading a lot from the beginning. I just was really busy, and then boom, it all stopped. So I really appreciate being here, and congratulations.
I'm so happy to see all you guys. I haven't seen some of you guys for months or years, I think.
Who are you?
Right. Who am I? So I just want to make sure, are we seeing everybody here? Has everyone had a chance to go through once? I wanted to get Kevin on here, but I think he fell off the face of the earth or something. So I guess I'll read a couple more and we'll go through again. Crystal Lane read a great desert poem, so I was going to read one in response to that from the book. This is called Mojave. The third thing that you immediately notice about the desert is that nothing is as close as it appears to be. Mountains seem to be within walking distance, and the sounds of cars and trains bounce off canyon walls and carry across the endless miles. I want to run in any direction to get away from here, this nothing. But where would I go, and how long would it take to get there? I am on foot, and there are no power lines to follow across the mountains. I am walking to Jawbone Station, to Highway 14, to civilization. Who will I encounter there? More disenfranchised souls like me? I still have 10 miles to schlep my bones down unnamed dirt road. I should sit in the shade and wait for nightfall. The second thing that you immediately notice about the desert is the eerie silence that takes some getting used to. No animals or people or clanking machinery provide the usual soundtrack. When the fighter jets race far overhead, you admonish them. I want to hear the entire life story of the first stranger I encounter. But where do the people here congregate to and for what purpose? I am on foot and I have not heard a vehicle for several hours. I have the song, A Horse with No Name, stuck in my head. The water bottle in my back pocket won't last much longer. I pine to hear a distant lover's quarrel. Anything, goddammit! I should sit in the shade and wait for nightfall. The first thing that you immediately notice about the desert is the searing heat that smacks you in the face like a rogue wave, and then it perches itself, completely uninvited, on your shoulders like a randomly teleported rhinoceros wearing cement shoes. I want to sip iced tea under a giant ceiling fan inside of an igloo. But where am I going to order a glacier from at 2 p.m. in the Mojave? I am on foot, and I have realized that I have stopped sweating. I drain the remainder of my water bottle and cringe, lips cracking. I am determined to make it all the way to Jawbone Station. I have inadvertently dug myself a hole under a lone palm tree. I will sit in the shade and wait for nightfall. All right. This next one is actually based on a half conversation I heard years and years ago when I lived in Santa Monica and walked past a Gap with the doors open, a Gap store. And there was a girl having an argument with her manager about the way she was looking and her eyeliner. And I kind of just filled in the rest of it. This is called Goth Gauge. How goth can you possibly get? Turns out pretty damn goth. So goth that I shit live bats. So goth, I killed Robert Smith just so I could worship him as the true goth saint he is. So goth that Marilyn Manson is afraid of my dark eyeliner. So goth that I live in a rented Italian sofa in creepy Monrovia. So goth that vile gangbangers can't join my evil marauders because they can't cast spells. That's how goth I am, ma'am. So no, I won't be removing my black nail polish in order to sell more clothes at the Gap in the time for the holiday rush. Talk about wasted potential. Let me captain my own ship. You might as well hire me. I'm management material. Thanks. All right. All right. Who's next? Crystal Lane, you have another couple you want to read? I don't want to put you on the spot. We can pass it off to anyone else.
Well, I can. I pulled up two because I thought I was only going to get two, so I'll have to find a couple more if
No
somebody
worries.
else wants to go.
Yeah.
Angel,
Rondi,
you don't want to read anything tonight?
I don't have anything new.
Oh, well, how about something old?
Oh, they're all in boxes. I just moved like a couple of months ago.
Oh,
Everything's still.
oh, bummer.
Okay. Rondi or Ellen, do you want to read a couple more?
Let me see.
If you don't have more, that's okay. I don't want to put anybody on the spot.
I'll read while you guys look for your poems. I'm gonna
Okay.
read something from your book
Oh, okay.
called About Fucking Time by Eric Lawson. That's the book. So this is on page 39 called Love Lingers in the Lights. Another wasted night without you, wondering where you are, who you're with, who you're fucking, and if you're fucked up. I turned the kitchen light off. Another night sweating out a fever, wondering if you still love me, if I still love you, if I fucked us up, and if I'm fucked up. I turned the living room light off. Another night of starts and stops, starting laundry and then stopping, starting to drink and then stopping, starting to write and then stopping, starting to leave and then staying. I turn the bathroom light off. I pause and ponder why relationships start off sailing upon smooth seas, but are so easily swayed and then run aground, forming relationships. I
Mm.
turn the hallway light off. I pause and wonder why we must meet in a sexual thunderdome instead of a quiet, well-mannered board game devised by Mattel. I turn the bedroom light off. My anchored eyelids are closing. Tonight's accomplishments include half-finished laundry, half-finished whiskey, half-finished verse, half-packed suitcase. I turn the reading light off. You left me like electricity. Your current slips through fumbled switches in the night, and the lighthouse crumbles. I extinguish the candle of thought that lights. Let me start that again. I extinguish the candle of thought that lights the beacon of trust where my love lingers. Ooh, wow. Woo.
That's good.
That was a
That was
great reading.
awesome. Great poem.
So
All right.
I
Go
don't I don't know if you all are aware, but the soup plantation has died its final death. It is no longer.
Yeah.
And I wrote a collection called Soup Stories, a reconstructed memoir that's literally like a coming of age story told in vignettes about working at the soup plantation.
Mm.
And there's one that I think Eric might appreciate. And I hope that's not taken the wrong way. It's called The Fart. I don't know if you've heard this one.
Oh.
The Fart. I never felt it coming on. Wouldn't have expected it in a million years, but there it was, the loudest, grossest fart I'd ever farted in all my life. Happened just as I was starting my shift, pushing through the kitchen double doors out into the dining area. Luckily, the whoosh and slam of those doors made that fart almost inaudible. That time, you could say, I got lucky. Someone who wasn't so lucky when it came to farts, however, was Kevin Jones, a kid I knew in middle school. We were both in the same youth group. This one Sunday morning, the middle schoolers and youth pastors were gathered in a circle around an upright wooden cross, reciting the normal platitudes, the thank yous, the pleas for help, and the praise gods. As our prayers wound down to a close, Kevin spoke just above a whisper. God, he started non-ironically, I pray that you will help me control my farts. I opened one eye, glanced across the little circle at Rachel, the only other girl in our youth group. Like me, she was doing all she could not to laugh out loud. In fact, what was really quite impressive about that moment, in a room full of preteen and teen boys, not a single person laughed at Kevin's fart prayer. Now, standing in the middle of the soup plantation dining room, I said that little fart prayer to myself as I started just another shift.
Poor Kevin.
Oh, poor Kevin.
Don't worry, names have been changed.
You got another one, or?
Sure. This one's called Sanitizer Sauna. We've all become too whitewashed, translucent washed, transparent into moral blindness, so polite, so PC, that we no longer call a spade a spade. Spades are just large spoons that can pat dirt down. I'm pregnant pause waiting for my Deus Ex Machina ending. I keep revving up when the engine refuses to turn over. I'm headed down this path least traveled while a telltale heart keeps beckoning me back. I'm walking like this in an oval, broken. Life pulls me between taking a stand for that which I believe and extending a hand for all those in need of acceptance. For so long, working from the outside in, building up those I love to be my own in crowd until they turn, walk away, building walls with the exteriors facing me. My greatest fear looking toward the future is that my perceived light at the end of the tunnel is nothing more than a mirror reflecting back the flames of all those bridges I've burned.
Oh. Good stuff. Good stuff.
Thanks, y'all.
Okay, Rondi or Ellen, did you have another one or two you wanted to read?
One by you I'd like to read.
And I want to do one. And I want to do one by you as well.
Okay.
This one is, it's not in your new book. It's in my all ages anthology, which I was so happy when you sent me this poem because I use it as a prompt. So I teach writing workshops for all ages. So I put together some anthologies so I could share my friends' poetry that kind of fall into an all ages category. So this is a poem that I've used as a prompt many times, and you guys will see the reason why. So thank you for this poem, Eric. It's called When the Cows Come Home.
That is in the book.
Oh, is it in this book?
It is.
Oh, I didn't. Okay, I haven't got through the whole thing. I'm kind of a hopper arounder in books.
No,
so.
it's okay. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. Well, then I'm going to read it out of this book. Maybe you've edited it. Maybe I should read it. Has it changed since this version?
Same thing. Go
Same
for it.
difference? Okay. All
Yeah.
right. I'm going with this. When the cows come home. When the cows come home, our goose is cooked. Do you have any idea what they'll do to us? Have you ever seen an ill-tempered herd? It's not pretty, even in an ice cream ad way. When the cows come home, we can't hide anymore. They'll know what we've done, and we have to answer to them. All of them at once. And no, they won't accept half-hearted moves. When the cows come home, we'll have to clean everything. Clean their houses, their cars, their coffee shops galore. Oh, and they are cruel taskmasters, those cows. No milking it on the chores this time. When the cows come home, the party will be over. The music will have to be turned off or banned forever. No more dancing or hopping or tapping along. They're worse than the parents in Footloose. It doesn't matter what you say. The cows have heard it all before. It doesn't matter if you were only tagging along. The cows will still utterly despise you. It doesn't matter what your background is. Be you rich, poor, tall, skinny, fat, short. The cows will curdle us all together. It's curtains for all of us to be certain. When the cows come home, I don't want to be here. They will arrive in souped up go-karts from Hawaii. Today's cows drive go-karts that can hydroplane. They will come and make us into cute dairy products. We're sorry, cows. We didn't know you'd be home ever. We take it all back, cows. Every blurted bovine punchline. Please show mercy on the wicked humans, great cows. Our only flaw is that we exceed when it comes to excess. Next time, if there is indeed a next time, we promise you, we will send you on an even slower boat to China, a more dangerous treasure hunt with no maps, a tea time waltzes in the Sahara sans sunblock. If you will, in turn, promise us puny humans to pretty please with sprinkles on top. Call us first to let us know you're on your way. Who do you think pays for all your lavish vacations? You ungrateful, self-absorbed, four-legged cheese sticks. Thank you.
Great reading.
I read it many times, so I enjoy reading it. It's very fun. So
That's one of my daughter's favorites because it reminds her of Shel Silverstein. So
yeah, no, it's a fun one. Actually, if I read one more, I wasn't going to, but G. Murray Thomas's poem is on the next page, and
okay.
I miss Murray. He's used to be here in Southern California. I don't know where everybody's from around here, but this is for Murray. Well, I want to also point out how timely this poem always feels to me. It always feels like that, but it's never felt more timely than right now when the cow feels like the cows have come home, Eric. We got some stuff to do. All right, cows on the freeway. Cows spilled all over the freeway by another amusing anecdote on the traffic report. Cows standing dazed, the carcasses of their traveling companions scattered around them, hinting at something they can't understand, yet obviously important. While more things they can't understand zip by too fast to catch or even focus on, yet again, obviously important. These cows know there is something they must do right now, but they sure don't know what the hell it could be. I can't tell you how often I feel like a cow on a freeway. That's very timely. That's G. Murray Thomas. So if you don't know G. Murray, check out his book too. He's just, yeah. So thank you, Eric.
No, thank you. Ellen, did you have a couple more?
Well, here's one. I wrote this. S.A. Griffin did a project years ago called The Poetry Bomb, and I wrote this for this. So it's called Someday Our Peace Will Come. One day poetry dropped from the sky, and the animals grew iambic pentameter tails, and the people breathed in stars. One day music dropped from the sky, and the architecture turned symphonic, and the people breathed in harmony. One day memory dropped from the sky, and the past, present, and future sifted like flour, and the people breathed in wonder. Smoke and ash as distant as two sides of the same coin. Let's see. Oh, I'm just thinking with, oh, here's one. Okay. Let's see. This is called Do You Fear Me? Do you fear me because I wear a purple friendship bracelet? Do you fear having me as a friend? Are you afraid to introduce me to your grandparents? The only perfect thing about me is my perfect lack of confidence. Does that freak you out? I'm fat. How does that sit with you? I wear political pins. Does that bother you? I'm a bookworm. Does that depress you? Are you terrified because I've been bat mitzvah? Are you scared because I think spiders are sacred? I'm left-handed. Ooh, no comment. Do you worry about me because I'm a virgin, because I'm loud and sometimes embarrassing? Are you weary of spending time with me? I know where the feminist bookstores are in a whole bunch of states. Does that make you tremble? People think I'm younger and older than I am. Does that reflect badly on you somehow? I don't always comb my hair. Can you hear it coming? Is it my ugliness or beauty that frightens you the most? Are you afraid of me because I'm human?
Wow, that was great.
Wow. Oh my God. So is that
Awesome.
one of yours, Alan?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So where do we find your work?
Oh, it's in some books. I mean, there's a book called The Coward's Amnesia that Henry Rollins published like a long time ago, but it's got some of the work, and some of the new ones are just around, and sometimes they work with music and with the poetry and music.
Oh, fantastic.
I was
I
gonna say,
really
that
enjoyed
poem
it.
is in Lummox. I think it's in this book.
Oh,
It's Lummox, and it's, I know it's in another, I use that poem as a prompt also.
oh, that last one I just, the Do You Fear Me one?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, I use
cool.
that as a prompt all the time. That,
Oh, wow.
Like
Oh,
once
cool.
a year. That is such a great, inspiring poem. So
Oh,
Yeah.
thank
Very,
you.
very cool.
Oh,
So I believe, Jordan, you said you had maybe one you wanted to try?
Well, yes, this is one of yours. Like I mentioned, I'm not a poet. So this
Whatever
is
you
from
want to, sir.
this is from your exciting new book, About Fucking Time, by Eric Lawson. Get your copy today. I also apologize. My chroma key thing behind me is strobing, so I look like a really cheap version of 2001: A Space Odyssey. So anyway, can you all hear me? Okay.
Yeah, pretty
Cool.
fine.
Okay, this is on page 66, Hot Mess in a Cow Costume. Donna is plastered once again, traversing the neighborhood in a rented cow costume. No one stops to ask her why. It's late March and raining, the middle of the day, and she's extremely hammered. She moos at the passing teenage boys, yelling, "Which one of you fine Southern gentlemen wants to refresh herself some ice-cold tea and then help a lady out by churning her butter? She rubs her plastic udders suggestively at the mailman. She molests her neighbor's flagpole. No one flinches or bats an eye. Since her fourth divorce, her sad, drunken displays have become ever so frequent. She urinates through the costume and cries out for Rocky Road ice cream between swigs of cheap, warm whiskey. She passes out, unceremoniously, into a half-empty kiddie pool. The neighbors sigh and go about their business in peace. Remarks one to another, "Well, at least this time she wasn't using the jump rope naked."
Very great reading, sir. Thank you so much.
Well, you wrote it, so.
No. Has everybody had a chance to read once or I guess twice now, if they were going to? Has everybody had a chance? Okay, I'll read a couple more here.
And Eric, I apologize. I do have to take off at this point. I'm so sorry.
Oh, hey, no problem. Thank you for stopping by, Jordan. Have a great
Nice
night.
seeing you all. Nice meeting you all. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Okie doke. This one I wrote during probably one of my least favorite living experiences, which is in a little hamlet of Los Angeles called Inglewood. And this is called 9. The number of times that I tried to text you late at night to tell you that I am breaking, am broken, am shattered, and will soon be reshaped into something unrecognizable to you. But ultimately, I will be truly honest with myself and my future bliss chasing. The number of times that I have written, emailed, and phoned my 9 numbers to complete strangers in the hopes of some form of clarity to legal mysteries that would befuddle even Agatha Christie. The number of times my daughter has asked me, "Daddy, when can we move into a bigger place where it's just you and me forever and ever?" The number of times when I woke up in a panic in the middle of the night, mind on overdrive, heart pounding, like a Keith Moon drum solo on crack, thinking, I need to run far away from here right fucking now. The number of times that I've started half-assed profiles on dating websites only to delete them because I am not ready, yet wishing more than anything for a time when I will be ready. There is much work to be done yet. Life is never-ending distractions, and I must be zen about it for a few months longer. The number of times that I've flirted with random girls in line at the grocery store this year. I never asked for a phone number because that would lead to a date, and a date would lead to questions about my weekends and my drama and why I cannot make concrete plans. The number of times that I've started projects this year and had to pull them all on hold, but I can't help myself. Creativity is a river that runs through us. You can't dam the flow. You can only slightly divert it around gravity's ever-beckoning call. The number of times this week that I've thought about kissing this saucy girl who works at the bookstore in San Francisco. What if we did make out and it led to love or some version of what I think love should be? How do I navigate without a net or compass or agenda or queued up icebreaker? The number of times that I've tried to rewrite this poem that I know now, like our storied history together, will never feel finished. Thank you. All right, and Mr. Angel Perales was actually with me with a few other friends when the events that inspired this poem in Monrovia happened. This is called Defiling Monrovia. We began the afternoon drunk on our youthful vigor. We emitted high-pitched howls of laughter, recognition at our glorious in-jokes. We recited eulogies to the locals in the guise of long-forgotten commercial jingles. We devoured the innuendo so transparent. We imbibed glass after glass of top-shelf wine, so necessary. We high-fived each other from across crowded cafes as we slam-dunked brilliance via telepathy and wrote it all down and called it poetry. We took turns making out on the complacent park bench with a statue of Mark Twain. We took photos of some weird Godzilla toy with Elmo's head and passed them under the table like it was the most titillating pornography to ever disgrace the San Gabriel Valley. We were gods and goddesses on those sultry, sun-soaked suburban streets. We played the part and looked marvelous and felt light years ahead of our ever-present past. We groped random strangers and did break dances while belching sonnets about zombie romance to homeless randomly. We came, we saw, we conned them a line into passing down our legend to the campfire converted. But those naive ceramic polar bear figurines will never, ever forgive us what we did to them. All right. So Frankie, do you have a couple more you'd like to try?
Yeah, yes. So I have a series called I Do This Every Thursday. So I do this every Thursday, somewhere you belong. You're the oxygen caressing my hair on PCH when I drive past the 2 piers where we stood, lunch at a wobbly wooden table in the sand. You're the question I asked, you're the dreams you answered, looking off to your right, your ideas spilled over, coming in with each wave that broke on the shore. Your past pulled out to the dark depths of the water. I saw the dreams flying in the dark as I stood in the bioluminescence of the sea last night. They looked like a flock of glitter. More were dancing on the horizon as they made their way to land. The dreams, a young woman whose beauty burst past quarantine, a man whose happiness was locked in a basement, the color returned to his face when the door was opened by you. You're the pen I circle my fingers around when I write in my red leather-bound journal, when I pray, months gone by. You're a promise, a kiss from a star, whose light falls from Orion, seen by everyone who looks at the sky. You're the touch of a fingertip on satin, the surprise delight of vanilla in frosting, and taste of cinnamon in your birthday cake, the 24-karat gold flake that spells out your name on top, the flame that can never be blown out. You're the Van Gogh that captured me at a museum, darker than indigo. You're the force of his brushstrokes, thick and opaque, a deep, wide cut from another time, rage inside, unending yellow swirls pent up, gray and liquid as mercury spilled on black marble floor, shining. Wow, I think that's one of the last things I've written. And I have something that I want to read, but I don't have it up here. So hold on.
Come back to you if you want.
Yeah, sure. That'd be great.
Okay. Let's see. Angel, you said you didn't want to read anything, right? Okay. So I guess we're back to Crystal Lane. If you have a couple more. Crystal Lane, can you hear me?
I will have to pull some more up if you want to keep going, or it doesn't have to be all about me.
Okay, I can read a couple more, and
Okay.
if you guys want to look for a couple, I like hearing your guys' stuff. I know I'm here and I've got a new book and everything that's ready to go, but I like hearing your guys' stuff too.
I like hearing your stuff too. I like reading your stuff. It's really cool to have I'm sure your poems read like in our voices, right? So
Right.
I love that. I love that very much.
Okay, let's see here. I will read a couple here. This one is called Stunt Buffalo. I run down the hill in a stampede. I run down the hill all alone. I stand still and get shot again. I stand perfectly still for the shot. I graze in the majestic meadow. I pose majestically by the stream. I want to run beyond the horizon. I want to break free of this life. But where the hell, what the hell am I doing here? Why am I here with you again, lowering myself to doing this? Call me domesticated. Call me a wannabe dog. Call me with a whistle. Call me with a shout. I come running back to you. I come running right away. I come running either way because you are my home. You will train me. You will feed me. You will shelter me. You will protect me. You will keep me from turning into what I was born to become. The world has no use for buffalo. Most days I forget the shame. My ancestors all disowned me before you quickly wiped them from the face of the Great Plains. I am only what you tell me to be now. It is all I have ever known here. My prison cell has no visible walls, for it is deadly tonight in the tundra, and the wild is no place for a buffalo.
Mm. Can I read your Fireflies in LA?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay. Fireflies in LA for Amy Lawson. There are no fireflies in Los Angeles, but I won't let this impede my mission. I have made a promise to you, my dear. That promise is to show you the world. I cannot help but be influenced by my own Huckleberry Finn-esque childhood. I believe that you should be able to chase after your dreams. I believe that natural lighting is all you need to create, because once the sun goes down, I shall be your flashlight. I shall hold your hand and speak the names of constellations. I am your father. You are my daughter. I will show you the wonders of the world. I will protect you from the uninvited darkness. There are no fireflies in Los Angeles, but in the land of Ohio, they are plentiful. I promise to take you there, my dear. I promise to show you fireflies in the night. I will show you the world, one wonder at a time. I cannot help but to influence you with my own sense of curiosity and awe. I believe in you so much that I'm sizing up telescopes on eBay. I believe in you so much that I'm drinking in dry erase boards. Because once the sun goes down, we can explore the night. I shall be your flashlight that illuminates your idea bank. We are so similar. You and I are inseparable. The wonders of the world are waiting, and we have unlimited time to see them all. There are no fireflies in Los Angeles, but we will find them soon and revel in their light together. So nice.
Thank you.
Yeah, so great.
Oh.
So great.
Okay, I can read a couple more unless you guys were able to dig through and find a few, or
I found one.
okay.
I'm from LA, born and raised, so this is called Homegrown. Homegrown East Side bad boys walk proud brown legs inside creased baggy jeans. Wide smile just shy of a laugh. Cute names I like to say, Bobby and Danny, who tell inside jokes that won't make sense to me. Dance slow, pull close, bad side boys, homegrown East, clean pressed, smell like Tide and cologne, greet and kiss their mothers in Spanish, sleep chests covered in white t-shirts, double layered over hearts.
Wow. Okay, this one is called Airplane Cruises Towards a Crack in the Window Pane. I see the airplane, tiny, distant, quiet, unassuming, appear at the far left of the giant window pane. Though I know it's unlikely, I wonder if you're on it, jet setting off to some gallery opening or island. To the far right, I see the spiderweb crack that is splintering, the glass, a little more each day, branching out. Does the 727 see the giant crack looming ahead? Surely the pilot knows this means certain doom. I wonder if you ever consider window pane cracks in all of your comings and goings, you frequent flyer. I'm not sure if it's reflex, disdain, or genuine concern, but I place my hand upon the window, on top of the cracks, as if it erases it from view. Don't see the crack, pilot. Don't fly into the imperfection. Don't take from me the one I love. Don't force me to use exclamation points. To the right, to the far right, I see the plane emerge beneath my hand. Crisis averted. Life goes on. I am still here, pretending not to be bored. You are still there, boarding another plane. All right. Rondi, did you want to read a couple more?
You're muted.
You're muted.
Yeah, I gotta get my thing going. So it was 30 and 30. I didn't end up doing 30 poems, but doesn't matter. New poems are just great whenever you get them. But this is called "This Is Not a Poem." It does not rhyme internally or otherwise. It has no meter or lyrical form. It is not about nature. It will not implicitly compare anything to anything else. This
Do we lose Rondi?
yeah,
Rondi, you froze.
Oh.
Can you start over?
I can. Am I back?
You're
okay.
back. Yeah,
Thank you.
sure.
This is not a poem. It does not rhyme internally or otherwise. It has no meter or lyrical form. It is not about nature. It will not implicitly compare anything to anything else. This is not an ode. There is nothing figurative included. No words have been divided or combined for artistic purposes. Euphemism has been purposefully omitted. Nothing about the way I feel. Sensory details have been completely censored. This is not about love. You said so yourself. Thank you. All right, the other poem that I wrote during that I'm planning to turn into a song, maybe, we'll see. This is called No Honeyed Moon. I am no stranger to this land where the shores of sweet talk sparkle. Wet kisses lap the land like no other. Dive deep below the surface? Why, I'd be afternoon delighted to. Umbrella drink me under the table nights. Wake up, basking in the warmth of hungover hot pavement, only to find this was just another night of two-step around the pool table by demented disco ball light. This was a drunk escort to the back door. This is the music of broken streetlights, embedded in high heels, scraping the sidewalk. This is ditched in a dark alley. This was the last lighter on a sparkless night, a wet cigarette drugged through the gutter and washed out to the sea. Good riddance. I don't know that we'll ever have nights like that again. I don't know. I'm just kidding. These times they are changing, so that's I wonder, like, you know, like I enjoy seeing everyone here, but I'm trying to imagine the life of the future, and it's crazy. It's crazy.
We'll all get together. There's going to be readings. It's going to happen.
Yes, I want to see people having I want people to feel safe.
I think it's strange how many different approaches there are depending on where you are. I mean, I'm a professor at Mount San Antonio College, and we are fully online for summer and the fall. And we're already talking about possibly being fully online for spring. So, I mean, I don't know, like, the ideas that people have for coming back to the classroom are having classes of, you know, the 20 or 30 people we normally have, but it's half online, half in the classroom. And so, like, the first half of the class shows up Monday and the second half of the class shows up Wednesday. But the problem with that is the professor is basically teaching the same class twice to the same group of students, just half of them. So the ideas are not quite there yet.
Yeah.
It's so different. I mean, in Orange County where I'm at, it's pretty much going to be business as usual. My daughter's going to be going to summer camp at YMCA down the street, and they're going back to school, full classrooms, all the teachers in August. So
Whoa.
I will only be teaching classes via Zoom.
I don't blame you. I mean,
yeah,
I think the further up north in Orange County you are to LA, the more lockdown it seems to be.
I'm in Rancho Santa Margarita.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
okay.
still-
You're way
I
down
still going house to house, which is what I normally do. I'm going to multiple houses where multiple families are meeting, and I just I don't feel responsible going from house to house. You know, it's different in a, you know, I can't control anything about that. So to me, I'm so thankful to have this platform to
Oh yeah. I
students
mean,
and
this is the
Yeah.
first Zoom thing that I've done. I've done a couple of podcasts and call-in things, but I like it because I just haven't had the interaction with like a group of people in so long. But
Yeah.
it does feel like you guys are really far away. You know what I mean? It's
Right.
not like we're in the same room, and you know, it's not the same. But I'm just glad we have at least this. You know, because before we had this, what would we do? We would just call and read each other's stuff, or email poems, or maybe YouTube it. You know, so this is a huge step up from where if this would have happened a few like 5 years ago. You know.
yeah.
So, well, with that said, I'll read a couple more, and then if Ellen, you have a couple, if you want to read after that, and then we'll do another round robin here. I don't want to keep you guys too late if you got to run out. I get a feeling that we're not going to have as many people as maybe we thought, but that's totally fine. I'm having a good time. How about you guys?
Yeah, it's a great time.
Okay. All right, this one is called Absinthe to the Nth Degree. One glass of absinthe is all it takes for my mood to lighten considerably. Worries become farce, melodies merrier, jokes funnier, hesitations gone. 2 glasses of absinthe is all it takes for my body to become more graceful. Gravity becomes abstract, fires warmer, food tastier, sensations lasting. I lose track of time after the 3rd glass, or was it the 4th, or 5th, or 6th? My pen begins scribbling. My brush seeks fresh paint. My blood is dancing on rooftops tonight with an elusive green fairy who delights in whispering wanton wonders in the night, but only after another round arrives. I soon lose track of my surroundings. Is this a restaurant or a graveyard? My chisel begins etching. My brush seeks dry stone. My blood drips in the crevices tonight with an entitled, sultry harlot who delights in brainwashing wounded wanderers in the night, but only until the bottle empties. My sinful, sugary sweet obsession lingers upon my lips like wax kisses. As a mouthful of salt water, I swallow, knowing I will be punished again and again like an insolent child. Yet, because it is a liquid, I drink. Am drunk, am drained, am deranged, am damaged, am damned, am doomed by her alluring French kiss, which haunts me without translation. With a tombstone for a pillow I wait. Atop moss-covered stones I rest. Perhaps a friend will call. Perhaps a stranger will pass. But more likely a fiend with an emerald elixir to taste, to tempt me, to lull me into my own longing for a love forever unrequited. 1 glass of absinthe is all it takes for my mind to cartwheel into bliss. Silence becomes serene, starlight closer, love defined, sense filter eradicated. All right.
There
this-
are
The only, the
absinthe.
only time I tried absinthe, I could only take a few sips. I hated it.
I would say absinthe has contributed to like some of the most memorable nights of my life. So there needs to be more absinthe poems in the world.
Happy to help. If you have kids, you can definitely relate to this one. This is called The Place Where Easter Exploded. I almost dropped my aloof air when I saw it. The place where Easter had apparently exploded. Multicolored confetti littered the sidewalk. Stray balloon shards were strewn hither and thither. Glitter was everywhere. Chocolate bunny parts were mushed and melting into the sidewalk cracks, much to the delight of the ants. A half-eaten marshmallow crucifix was perched in a nearby shrub, instantly causing me to hum, losing my religion to no one but the wind. I'm quite certain the Easter bunny barfed, or whomever that guy passed out drunk on the nearby bench in a bunny mask was supposed to be for the party. A Donnie Darko zealot, perhaps? The children are long gone home, the adults too tired to sweep up the maelstrom. the animals too full of table scraps to care. I pause momentarily to take a picture of my world-weary shoes, covered in gooey remnants, clinging all around them, silently signifying that life is best enjoyed moment to moment, leaving the after image to be labeled poetry. Thank you, thank you. All right, Ellen, did you have a couple?
Here's something. Okay.
All right,
Can you hear me still okay?
perfect.
Oh, great. Okay, thank you. This is called 2016, the year the 20th century finally died. The year so many musicians died, and the year freedom seemed to be moving underground. Caskets filled the air. We live in times of turmoil, clocks speeding quicker and quicker. Middle age seems old, seniors seem timeless. There's a lethargy in the way people move. There's a liturgy on the tips of our tongues. There's something in the morning cereal. It looks like newsprint. There's something in the evening news that seems like farce, as though this couldn't be real. This over-the-top peek into tragedy's eyelid. This shiver that lives in our psyche like snow. We ski into another winter. The world is on a ski lift. Cocoa is leaving its face around a cup. We stir and it's January. We stir and it's the 20th century. We stir and it looks like it's black and white newsreels. History tries to repeat itself as the people in power like sequels. People wear the hero mask, the death mask, the face and the heart. People make choices. The stores sell everything. One of the strongest songs from Rodgers and Hammerstein, You've Got to Be Carefully Taught. Prejudging is the name of the game so many households play. Play Rummikub instead. Play solitaire, don't be influenced by peers. 1 minute to midnight, but people don't know if the year will leave us dangling from some threshold. History said, look at me with your eyes of flame. Burn my pain in your memory. Walk into the libraries and kiss all the spines. The earth is spinning whether people stay on it or not. What if earth falls in the forest and nobody is there to hear it? The last person on earth will carry a pencil. That is why earth has survived this long.
Wow. I have to mute myself to say wow.
Oh, thanks. Say read one more. I don't know.
Yeah, go ahead. If you have another one, and then I'll read a couple.
Oh, you can read. You should read. You should read more. It's a pleasure to see everybody.
No problem. Okay, this one is called Bimini Road Intermezzo. We maneuver like entitled eels against the tide. You are my ever-present effervescent. We glide under the shadows of stoic manta rays. I want so badly for the stone slabs to be man-made, but my rational mind knows that they are naturally occurring formations strewn across the shallow seabed. I see you beaming through your goggles. Do you notice me through mine, awestruck? I reach out through aquamarine haze. Part of me never wants to unravel the mystery. If I caught the chase submarine, what would I do with it? Part of me never wants to reveal my true self to you. What if I'm not the shimmering nautilus you pine for? This is us. We are alive and happily cut off from distraction. This is us. We hold hands and navigate the coral together. It is possible that we can sustain this blissful interlude here. We are geeking out to an instrumental break in the whale song. We follow the submerged Bimini Road for nearly a mile. It leads us to yet another pristine Caribbean beach. I do not want to breach the surface and shatter the illusion that I have discovered ancient remnants. We float dejected like pouting manatees with the tide, lost like mad delusional marsupials. We abandon Atlantean secrets for breathable safety. I want so badly for you to tell me that you love me just once, but I am merely passing through while you are landlocked, an indifferent mermaid, drowning one dry martini at a time. All right, let's see. I am going to read. Empty castles. The hot pink and cold blue castles are empty tonight. Both Barbie and Elsa are idols on their thrones. The stuffed snow leopard, Lucky, is listless and dour. Nemo and Applejack have no one to voice them. The princess has taken an open-ended leave of absence this week. Who will finish Anna or Belle's songs for them? Who will call Charlie Brown a blockhead for Lucy? Who will have contests of cuteness between the critters? Who will bake invisible chocolate cakes for Peppa Pig? The princess did not leave instructions for the unattended castle denizens, and I, the keeper of the castle, feel her absence most. For I do not know whether to pack the citizens away or to leave them where they lie, where they fell, slept. I decided not to decide, and now they all await her return. The princess is my daughter, my blood, yet I fill the hours with idle tasks. Come back to your castles, my dearest. They are empty and serve no purpose without you. Come back to the enchanted realms of your own making. Make your happy the loudest song in the kingdom again. Come back to me, to our home that we have built together. Not these trinkets of indifferent painted plastic, but to the open hearts, open minds, and endless joy. The keeper of the castle is waiting for you with the greatest gift of all, unconditional love. Okay. All right. So Crystal Lane or Rondi, did you guys have one you wanted to read, or another one, two maybe?
No, I greatly appreciate you letting me read. I don't want to take any more of your time, and I really appreciate your book. Thank you for sharing it so much.
Rondi?
Yes, I agree. Thank you so much for sending the book. I'm working my way through it, and I've so enjoyed hearing everybody's work. Angel, I look forward to hearing your work in the future. Hopefully.
When this COVID thing is over, I'll start going out again.
Nice.
I think we all will, yeah. So Frankie, if you have anything more, I think maybe we should wrap it up here soon. I think everybody's kind of gotten a good gist and gotten to read a few things tonight. Say hi to everybody.
Yeah, this is really great. There's one in your book on page 53. Do we say it's konnichiwa?
Konnichiwa?
Konnichiwa, excuse me. Konnichiwa. Your greeting is less like a friend, more like a lover. I know we are saying hello, but it feels more like an embrace. Your eyes devoured me, your smile an open invitation. We begin the origami in earnest as we share the paper. It is delicate as it must balance two hearts simultaneously, each fold meticulously planned for every possible pattern, each inevitable outcome preordained, yet with room release. Emotions tempered as each crease creates a new reality. Shapes emerge, animals, spaceships, tree houses galore. The paper has served its purpose. The hearts remain balanced. Your invitation received. Your eyes now fully satisfied. I know you are saying goodbye, but it feels like an embargo. Your farewell is less like a lover, more like a friend. Very nice.
Great. I guess maybe I'll just read another one and we'll wrap it up if everybody's cool with that.
It's your party. Okay.
All right.
Okay by me.
Okay, let's see. I would like to, let's try. This is an old one. I don't know if you guys remember a poet named Kat McIntyre. This was one of her favorite poems that I used to read around town. And I'll end with this one. This is called, "Love is like a tweaking ferret with Tourette's. Modern love is unpredictable at best. If you try to Make the time, it evaporates. And love fit into a schedule isn't really love. If you can't consistently be who you truly are with someone at all times, then you are only fooling yourself. It doesn't matter where you met, a fairground arts and crafts tent, some dimly lit basement dive bar, your cousin's anime film night, or cautiously browsing facefuck.com. It just happens unexpectedly. It's chemical and instantaneous. You can't put your kinky finger on it. If you try, it will only slip away. Love is an excuse for inspiring words. And these words were only developed because callous caveman chic went out of style ASAFP BC. When it comes to love, I say be beyond selfish. I want a burning love without fire extinguishers. I want a circus monkey love without safety nets. But most of all, I want love in return. Not because I feel entitled or that I think that anyone owes me anything, but life's like postage, but because life's postage rate keeps skyrocketing without foreseeable limit, and I've been mailing out good vibes for years on this slippery spinning orb, in my mind, love between two people is like a tweaking ferret with Tourette's. It's too slippery and wily to be caged. We don't know why we need it. We just do. Thanks, everybody. You guys have been awesome. This is so cool to see everybody. It's been so long. We got to do this again.
Yeah, definitely. It's super fun.
Also putting out a book where we can just make this happen. Anyone?
Well, I got inspired by you putting this book together. So I started putting my stuff together, but it's an ongoing thing. So, yeah. Well, but it was great meeting you all. And thank you for coming to the party.
Thanks again for putting this together, Frankie.
Yeah. So this has been recorded, and I just want to say one more time, congratulations to Eric for his book About Fucking Time. And yeah, let's all just so all right, well, everybody be safe out there. Our cities are burning and we're reading poetry. I don't know, that seems to work for me. I mean, not that the cities are burning, but I'm happy to be here with all of you.
Thanks, guys. Thank you for sharing your Saturday night.
Okay.
All right. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.